represented by their senior class officers. The senior class is followed by the introduction of the Morgantown High School administrators and supporting staff led by Senior Counselor Rick Gerlach as he carries the ceremonial mace to the stage. Please remain standing if you are able until you are asked to be seated.
Good morning, parents, guardians, family members, and distinguished guests. Welcome to the 139th Morgantown High School Commencement Exercises. The mace which I hold is symbolic of the academic achievement for the previous 138 classes for the class of 2022 and represents the authority of Morgantown High to award diplomas. Please be aware, although we are in a sporting venue, this is a commencement celebrating academics. We appreciate your cooperation in helping us remain a dignified ceremony, allowing each student their moment to shine. Thank you. To the class of 2022, congratulations, you've made it. When you entered the halls of Morgantown High School, the world was a very busy place. Miss Neubois was your counselor, TikTok was still in its infancy, and I wasn't here, but I was told Mr. Bowers had a head of hair that rivaled a male lion. Some of you walked through these doors confident you could ask her any question in the Gibson's AP Calculus classes while dunking a basketball and playing the trumpet in the marching band. Others were a little more unsure, seeking out familiar faces from Suncrest Middle and South, and took some time to find yourself at MHS. Maybe you were too big trusting of the seniors and wasted a few hours looking for that swimming pool that MHS totally has somewhere. As you walked out the doors in March of 2020, thinking you were only taking a 2-week break, then just as quickly concerned that you may never again walk through the Morgantown High halls. When you were younger, you had parents and grandparents that complained they walked to school barefoot, in the snow, up hills, both ways. While you guys were in school, it was so dangerous, the governor banned you from coming to school. Take that, Mom, Dad, and Uncle Steve. Despite the limits caused by COVID, the class of 2022 accomplished some tremendous things. Tech test? Okay. Sports teams, regional, and state championships. Marching band, jazz band, orchestra, choir, and the theater department all put on performances. Broadway were closed. Miss Salmon's baking students whipped up amazing cakes. M-Tech was training our community's future nurses, teachers, computer programs, welders, auto technicians, and other tradesmen that I have full confidence that when Mr. Mahalko needs some work done, he will call you. Academically, this class ate up AP tests and dual credit courses like they were Hodcats. The class of 2022 had 14 National Merit semifinalists. Thanks to this class, I wrote letter of recommendation to MIT, Cal Polytech, Georgetown, Princeton, Yale, and Harvard. I didn't think those schools were real until I had to write those letters. I could spend a day listening the accomplishments of the class of 2022, but I won't. You know how great you are. And Mr. Callister has like 400 names to read, so we don't want to be here all day. Class of 2022, please take a moment now to think about those that helped you get here today. Your parents, grandparents, neighbors, family friend, teachers, educators, bus drivers, maybe a school counselor that was really good at responding to emails quickly. Please take a moment and give them a round of applause for helping you get here today. Congratulations to the class of 2022. I can't wait to see what you guys accomplish.
Please help me to welcome Drew Mackey for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Hello, I'm Vigisha Das. I wanted to thank all the students standing in front of me and the ones who couldn't make it today, all the faculty and staff at MHS, and my parents and brothers for making my 4 years at Morgantown High School so special. Thank you all so much. MHS Class of 2022, this poem is dedicated to you. Descending into the next act. Leaves shifted towards red, orange, yellow, and the taste of caramel apples flooded through the crisp, anticipation-filled air, intensified by the preceding and this final year. New beginnings, new friendships, new bites at the life that has been in the making for years. Turning the cake gives me the taste of old friendships, old hands, hearts, minds, and souls. A mixture that pushes out smooth on my skin delight. Thin snow blankets bring dreams of a soft life by the lake in which hands, hearts, minds, and souls are full of the world's passions. And on lazy drizzles, in a world full of flourishing foliage, critters, lives, I am glad to be surrounded by this life. The sun streams through stained glass windows on the page that turns to find its next chapter. Time won't freeze, forcing a goodbye, but my hands, heart, mind, and soul will cherish this moment forever.
You may be seated. Welcome, 2022 graduates, parents, family members, faculty, staff, and honored guests to the 139th Morgantown High School Commencement Ceremony. Thank you all for joining us. These past few years have certainly been full of uncertainty, hardship, passion, and expectation. I, along with everyone here, recognize that this class did not have the high school years they were anticipating. We understand that many of you feel you've missed out on some very important milestones. But we are here today to celebrate all that you were able to accomplish and our ability to thrive through adversity. Think about all of the uncertainty we have been through in your time at MHS. Would we be in school? What is social distancing? Should I eat lunch in the gym? Or did I forget my mask? So much confusion, worry, and uncertainty. But what about all the things we learned and came to understand? We found out that we can teach and learn remotely. We also learned that there is no better place to learn than in school. We learned how to run vaccine clinics. We learned how to use technologies to our advantage. Through all of this, most importantly, we learned to adapt, pivot, and overcome. And we learned that we can do anything. Very few people have previously experienced what we have. Our ability to thrive through this adversity has shown us our true character. Wow, what have we accomplished? Your class is responsible for some of the most memorable moments in our school's recent history. We have found local, regional, state, and national success through our science, history, and quiz bowl teams, as well as our math field day students. Your community service endeavors are unmatched, to say nothing of the resounding return of Mohegan Idol. The success of our CTE programs continues to amaze. 14 National Merit finalists, 12 Presidential Scholars, 68 AP Scholars, 4 Bucklew Scholars, a WVU Foundation Scholar, and 110 and counting Promise Scholars round out our academic achievements of the class of 2022. The amount of scholarships awarded to your class is astounding. Our fine arts programs continue to make us proud at each turn. Athletically, this year alone, your class is responsible for numbers of individual winners and 4 state championships. These accomplishments do not even begin to tell the tale of the class of 2022. This class has been through more than anyone could imagine, and yet you all came through with the humble pride that I admire. The way you band together for what is best for our school, our community, is what should make us all proud. This class never wavered. Your resilience and dedication through everything that was thrown at you shall serve you all well, no matter the path you choose. Each of you will leave MHS with your mark. Whether you're going to school, plying your craft in a trade, serving admirably in the military, or taking on a career, what you have learned through these 4 years at MHS is that no matter what life can throw at you, you can make it. As your senior year officially comes to a close, do not focus on what could or should have been. Rather, focus on what will be and how you will get there. This class will always have a place at Morgantown High School. Now go out and make us all proud to be Mohegans. At this time, I would like to introduce to you our next speaker, planning to attend West Virginia University, your senior class president, Matthew Bowling.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Matthew Bowling, and I am honored to stand before all of you and represent the class of 2022 as our class president. On behalf of my class, I would like to extend a sincere thank you to Morgantown High School's faculty and staff for organizing such a beautiful ceremony for us this morning, especially Mrs. Secreto, who is truly the anchor of Morgantown High School. I would also like to extend a thank you to the other senior class officers, Dominic Gabriel, Ava Biafor, Leah Hatcher, and Catherine Zerker-Kirby, the senior class sponsors, Ms. George and Ms. Parks, and the senior class representatives, whose work occasionally goes unnoticed, but I can assure you is not unappreciated. Last, but certainly not least, I would like to acknowledge our teachers. Teachers are the backbone of our education, and it is safe to say that we would not be here this morning without them. Because of everyone I just mentioned, much of today and this year as a whole were made possible. So let's give them a huge round of applause. When I was elected president, I was reminded that I had the opportunity to give a speech at our class's graduation ceremony. And throughout this year, I would be asked, and even ask myself, what I was going to discuss in that speech. This past April, I read a quote that stuck with me. And from then on, I knew what I was going to discuss. Time. The quote read like this: "Time's arrow neither stands still nor reverses. It merely marches forward." That quote made me reflect on my time here at Morgantown High School. For example, this past month, I have been asked several times that if I had the opportunity to give advice to my freshman self, what would I tell younger me? My answer has always remained the same. With the exception of maybe changing a few small details, I am genuinely very satisfied and content with my time at this school. But being satisfied with my time here does not necessarily mean I have appreciated my time here. Now, don't get me wrong. I have made incredible, fantastic memories during my 4 years of high school. But it pains me to say that they are just that, memories. I very rarely ever lived in the moment. I was constantly worried about and focusing on the next thing, the next event, never truly appreciating what each moment had to offer. But as the quote says, time's arrow continued to march forward, and regretfully, I did not realize or understand what that meant until the end of high school. I know that might sound terrifying. It terrified me. But fear not. There is still time. High school is merely a small chapter in this long series we call life. And we have our entire lives to live, and I encourage you all to do just that. Live. If I could leave you all today with any piece of advice, it would be to appreciate every moment, no matter how unimportant or minuscule they may seem. For we only appreciate the value of a moment until that moment becomes a memory. So with that being said, my fellow graduates, when you walk on this stage and receive your high school diploma this morning, let that be a fresh start, a rebirth, a new beginning. Let that be the first moment you truly live. Appreciate every second of it, for it will only ever happen once. Thank you.
Please direct your attention to the middle of the field for our special music performed by our MHS choir students with special wishes for the class of 2022. An important Morgantown High School graduation ceremony tradition has been the performance of the song America the Beautiful. Please join in singing with live direction by the 2022 MHS Marching Band's Field Commander, Catherine Ragulis.
As you can imagine, the ceremony did not come together overnight. I'd like to recognize some of the people who helped to make this ceremony possible. First and foremost, the 2000